Welcome to the John, your daily sports dump, where we take a deep dive into the latest in the sports world. No holds barred, no fluff, just straight up action. Whether it's breaking news, game recaps, or the hottest takes, we've got you covered. So while you take your dog for a walk, enjoy a fresh cup of coffee, or handle your business, let me fill you in on what's been happening in the sports world. This is your daily sports fix. Let's answer nature's call with some game-changing sports news. I'm John, your host, and today we revisit some bold predictions I made last week. You know, the ones that didn't go quite well. Chargers fans, Steelers fans, let's commiserate together. Then, let's dive into college basketball season and explore why freshmen are stealing the spotlight again. Plus, I'll highlight a couple of teams to watch. And yes, we're giving Bradley the Cinderella story. Bold predictions that bombed. Bold predictions that bombed, or as I like to call it, the clogged takes of the week. These were predictions that, much like bad burrito, didn't sit well and ended up stinking up the joint. So last week, I was sure Justin Herbert's playoff poise would shine as I pegged the Steelers to handle their business thanks to what I thought would be a bigger role for Justin Fields. Well, let's just say I could not have been more wrong. Justin Herbert, arguably the worst performance of his career. Herbert went the full plumber's nightmare, 4 interceptions, including a pick six, also while just completing 43.8% of his passes, the fewest passing yards since his rookie season, and the Texans defense deserves all the credit for shutting him down. But this catastrophic performance by the Chargers, it wasn't just Herbert, it was the team's struggles as well. Only 261 total yards and went a 3-for-11 on third down conversions. Yikes. And defensively, C.J. Stroud shredded them for 282 yards and a touchdown. Also, throwing a blocked extra point, returned for 2, the Chargers didn't stand a chance. The performance that flushed the Chargers any chance the Chargers had down the drain. The Steelers and Justin Fields. I predicted that Fields might play a key role, but he barely touched the field, only playing 2 snaps in the game that saw Pittsburgh crash out in a 28-14 loss against the Ravens. He was benched harder than the lid on the old school toilet tank. Sometimes bold predictions just don't go down smoothly, but hey, that's what makes it fun, right? Let's wipe these opinions clean and move on to today's hot take, or as I like to call it, steaming pile of opinions. You might not agree. It might stink, but we're plunging into it right away. Here it is. I think the Steelers need to move on from Mike Tomlin. That's right. I said it. 17 seasons, never a losing record, but only 3 playoff wins in the last 12 years. It's like a toilet system that never overflows, but still doesn't flush properly. At some point, you got to upgrade the system, guys. Now, I know some of you are reaching for the air freshener on this one, saying, how can you fire a guy who's that consistent? But consistency without results just leaves you sitting in mediocrity. Sometimes you got to pull the handle and let it all go to make room for something new. While Tomlin has never had a losing season as a head coach, and led the Steelers to the Super Bowl, but the team has failed to return to the big game in the last 13 seasons. Since 2010, here are the numbers. Steelers have made the playoffs 5 times, but Tomlin's playoff record, just 8-11. To make it worse, the Steelers haven't won a playoff game since 2016. For years, the Steelers' offensive identity has been clogged. In 2023, Kenny Pickett was the quarterback, and he turned the ball over 22 times, ranking 21st in the league. After getting rid of Kenny Pickett and sending him to the Eagles, the Steelers brought in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and a new offensive coordinator, expecting to bring in a new identity, a new idea for this team. Here are the numbers for this year after their first season. Total offense, the Steelers accumulated 5,430 yards, averaging 319 passing yards, or 319 total yards, ranking 23rd in the NFL. Scoring, they only scored 380 points, averaging 22 points per game, 16th in the league. Passing and rushing balance. Their offensive passing, they only passed for 21 touchdowns, averaging 195 passing yards per game, placing them 26th in the league, and 2,166 rushing yards, averaging 127 per game, ranking 23rd in the league. While Tomlin's consistency remains remarkable, No losing seasons in 17 years. Results matter. Results in the playoffs specifically matter. I think it's time for the air to be freshened up in Pittsburgh. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. College basketball. Freshmen flushing out the competition. Let's pivot to college basketball. This season, freshmen are stepping into the spotlight, and it's making for a thrilling year. These young stars officially taking the plunge and are making a splash in the big leagues. Why are freshmen dominating again? First, the 2024 recruiting class was exceptional, with players like Cooper Flagg, Casper Siakam-Jonas, Dylan Harper Jr., Ace Bailey, just to name a few. They're proving they were ready to dominate in the college game since day one. Another big factor is NIL. These college players don't need to go to overseas or to the G League to get paid. They can come to college, make arguably more than they would make in the NBA, and they would still be fine, and they still get a lot of recognition from the pros. Some freshmen that I think you guys should pay attention to. Casper Siakam-Jonas at Illinois. He's averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, and is a projected top 10 pick in the upcoming draft. He has brought this Illinois team to a, top 25 ranking, and many people thought Illinois was not going to be that good with all these new faces, and Siakam-Jonas has proved them all wrong. The team of Illinois goes how Siakam-Jonas goes. If Siakam-Jonas plays well, they go well. If he doesn't, they do not play well. Another person to look at is obviously the big one, Cooper Flagg. He's averaging 19 points, almost 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. He's a total package. He's versatile. He has high IQ, and he's clutch. He just scored 42 points in a game. So he does everything. He's a 3-level scorer. He can defend. He can do everything that a team asks for. And then these two Rutgers players, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. Harper averages 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Ace Bailey averages 19 and almost 8 rebounds a game. Both are projected to be top 5 picks. Rutgers, on the other hand, 500, 8-8. I would like to say that Rutgers is a lot like the Colorado version of football. 2 players that'll probably go in the top 5, but a mediocre team around them. Not a great team surrounding them as, they should be surrounded with. And lastly, I want to touch on some NCAA teams making noise. Specifically Duke, Auburn, and yes, my Cinderella team, Bradley. Duke. They are a key dominant freshman team. They are built from, this 2024 recruiting class with Cooper Flagg and another Kamen Maluch, who is a 7'2" freshman from South Sudan. He's only averaging 8 points. Just around 9 points and almost 6 rebounds a game, while averaging over a block per game. But the insane part from this that I think makes him so different is, one, his height, but he's also shooting almost 80% from the field, and he's a matchup nightmare with his size. Not many people in college have a 7'2" center, And then Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg does everything that you want. He's a great defender, averages 2 blocks per game, and he can facilitate an offense, and he leads this Duke team who is averaging 80 points a game. They rank top 10 in defensive efficiency, holding teams to just 60 points a game. And then another team that a lot of people are looking away from now, because since Johnny Broome got hurt, I'm talking about the Auburn Tigers. Since Johnny Broome got hurt, and Johnny Broome is the best player I think in college basketball. He's averaging 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks. I think he's the best player. He's a guaranteed double-double per night. And they are very, very dependent, though, on him. And he just got hurt, as you guys know. So we'll see how they react. Their offense is still, one of the best offenses in the country. They average 86 points, which puts them in the top 10 in scoring in the country. And then I want to talk about the Cinderella alert. My Bradley Braves. Bradley could be this year's Cinderella. They're the best three-point shooting team in the country, shooting an astonishing 41.4%, leading the nation. They live and die by the 3-ball. Their key players are Duke Dean, Zeke Montgomery, and Darius Hannah, just to name a few. Duke Dean, he is clutch, the definition of clutch. He's averaging 14.4 points a game, and in the most recent game against UIC, hit a game-winning three-pointer with 2 seconds left. Darius Hannah, he is an absolute beast in the paint. He averages just around 6 rebounds a game and 12 points. And even though he's only 6'10", he dominates the boards and on the defensive end as well. And their X factor, I really think, is Zeke Montgomery. You know, he averages 14.2 points per game, and he stretches the floor. He adds that versatility that Duke Dean and Darius Hannah might not have. He's that third scoring option that I think can really help Bradley. And I think another reason why Bradley is such a scary team is because they don't have that one score that, you know, gives them 20. They have scoring from all different levels. You know, they have guys scoring 14, 12, 10, 8. You know, they're built all around. They're not just one. You can't key in on one specific guy because then another guy will go off. So that's what makes them so difficult. And they could be the bracket buster of the year. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the John, your daily sports dump. We flushed out all the latest sports news from NFL heartbreak, freshmen taking over college hoops, and there's plenty to keep the conversation going. Don't forget to hit up our poll in the comments should the Steelers move on from Mike Tomlin, and keep Bradley on your radar. They will be the ultimate bracket buster this year. Make sure to subscribe to never miss an episode, and join us next time for the sports updates. Until then, keep your game face on, stay regular, and remember, this is John signing off. Take care, everybody.